To call me Crazy Joe, well, now they can call me Batman.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe. Happy to have you here today. I want to talk to you today about another physical media release that is coming out through our friends at Warner Brothers. They were kind enough to send me a review copy, and we're going to talk about it right now. The movie is Purple Rain, starring Prince, 1984, celebrating, look at that, it's got a 40 in the corner there. 40th anniversary of this movie, came out in 1984, and I want to thank Warner Brothers for sending me this copy. So Purple Rain, let me tell you something. Prince is one of the biggest musical artists of the 1980s. He was huge, and the music from this movie was everywhere. The Purple Rain soundtrack was a huge hit. Purple Rain, the song, was a huge hit. And I got to tell you, I was not particularly a fan. I grew up in the 80s. I was not a fan. I didn't see this movie in the 80s. I didn't follow his music. It was one of those things that would come on the radio and I would kind of tune it out. So that's kind of my history with Prince and with the movie Purple Rain. This is not a movie that I grew up with and have a great love for, historically speaking. Now, I bring that up for a reason. I first saw this movie about 15 years ago, and the reason was due to a person I rarely have a good thing to say about. That's my ex-wife. My ex-wife was a huge Prince fan, and when we first got together, first moved in together, her copy of Purple Rain, which at the time I believe, was it a Blu-ray or a DVD? I can't even remember. I think it was a DVD. Yeah, we weren't even really in the Blu-ray phase yet. It was a DVD. Her DVD copy of Purple Rain ended up in my collection because our collections combined. And she was always on me. Let's watch Purple Rain tonight. Let's watch Purple Rain. Not being a Prince fan, I really didn't care about Purple Rain. And she talked me into watching it one night. And I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I don't usually say too many kind things about my ex-wife, but I will say she made me appreciate Prince. There's some real talent there. I mean, he was a hell of a musician, and somehow it just hadn't quite clicked with me. And then watching it with her, it finally clicked with me that he's pretty talented. And I actually have a quite a respect for Prince now. Now, let me tell you, not everything she tried to introduce me to took, because she also was a huge fan of the TV show Martin, and her entire collection of the Martin series starring Martin Lawrence ended up in my DVD collection as well. And I still hate that to this day. so that it tells you, the quality is going to make the difference. And he's a talented musician, and I still don't think Martin Lawrence is funny. So there you go. Not everything she tried to bring into my collection went into my heart, but this did. So as for the movie is a weird movie. We got to be honest. This is a weird movie because pretty much everyone in the movie is playing themselves, except for Prince. Prince doesn't play Prince. He plays the kid, but everyone else, Morris Day and Apollonia and all the other people are kind of playing themselves or versions of themselves. So it's a little weird that Prince isn't. I don't know why he's not just Prince in this, but it kind of revolves around a nightclub, and Morris Day and the Time are performing there, and Prince is performing there, and it gets to be like this conflict between the two of them over who's going to perform. And then, I don't know. Let's be honest here. The plot of this movie is paper thin and not very good. That's the truth. This isn't a great movie because of the plot. The plot isn't driving this film. In fact, Prince's character, I'd say he's kind of an asshole. he's not the nicest guy in this movie. Like two of the girls in his band write the title song "Purple Rain," and he refuses to play it because he didn't write it. He's kind of a jerk to them. He doesn't come off as a nice guy in this film. This movie is carried by the music. It really is. The music is what carries this through, and it's shot. I remember when I first saw this movie, this is one of my initial comments. It's shot like an 80s horror film. What do I mean by that? Well, if you watch like the Friday the 13th movies or any of those 80s horror films, they weren't big budget affairs. And the film stock looks a little cheaper. You know, it's like you watch a Friday the 13th movie or you watch another like a big budget release from the same year. Friday the 13th looks cheaper. It's got a cheaper look to it. Like the film stock is cheaper. I don't know. It just looks cheaper. And this film looks like a Friday the 13th movie or an 80s horror film. It's just got that cheaper look to it. I said at the time, I feel like I'm watching a horror movie, but nobody's getting killed. Like that's the look of the film. And that adds a little charm to it. I gotta say, there's a bit of charm added by the fact that this movie has that cheap look to it. So I don't know. There's a lot of charm to this film that I can't quite put my finger on. But I was surprised when I first saw this 15 years ago how much I enjoyed it. I really didn't expect to like it, but I did like it. And now we get it on 4K. It is being released on the 25th of June, just a few days away, Tuesday the 25th. Warner was kind enough to send me this in advance. So let's take a look at the disc. First of all, we got a slip sleeve there. The cover is the same on both the slip sleeve and the actual disc. Once again, Warner Brothers has cut out the Blu-ray. You don't get a Blu-ray. You only get the 4K disc. You do get a digital code. The digital code has been removed, but it comes with a digital code. So you can redeem this on Movies Anywhere, Fandango at Home, formerly Vudu, Amazon, Apple, all the places you want to watch the movie, you can watch the digital code. So let me show you the back there. Can you see? Let me see. Can you see the special features? I don't know. Maybe you want to zoom in there on the special features. We've got a commentary track by the director, Albert Magnoli, Robert Cavello, and Donald E. Thorin. First Avenue, The Road to Pop Royalty, 8 music videos. There's 8 music videos in here, including Let's Go Crazy, Take Me With You, When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You, Purple Rain, Jungle Love, The Bird, and Sex Shooter. You will get all those music videos on there. And let me tell you, I watched this disc last night. The quality is absolutely beautiful. The movie, well, granted, I never saw it in the theater in '84. I only saw it for the first time 15 years ago on DVD. But this is the best looking I've ever seen the movie. I imagine this is as nice as it looked in its original theatrical run. I would venture to say. So you're getting some quality picture. You're getting some classic music. I mean, these songs, whether you're a Prince fan or not, you know these songs. These are songs that have stood the test of time. Like I said, time in the 80s wasn't a fan. And I'm still not like the world's biggest Prince fan or anything. Like I don't actually own any of his albums or anything, but I have a real appreciation for his music now that I didn't have 15 years ago. And again, one of the few things I will say I owe to my ex-wife. So shout out to my ex-wife. I don't say that very often, but I'll give her this one. She gets a win. She gets a win in her column. She doesn't get many. She gets that one. So there you go. I say check it out, man. Purple Rain, available Tuesday the 25th on 4K Ultra HD, wherever you get your physical media, whether it be a brick and mortar store like Walmart, Target, or Amazon, Groove.com. I don't know, wherever you go for physical media, you can get this starting on Tuesday the 25th. And if you're a Prince fan, I would say this is a must-have. I would say if you are an 80s guy, if you're like, I'm an 80s guy, I love the 80s. This movie is so 80s, even though I didn't grow up with it in the 80s. It just looks and feels 80s because that's when it was made. So I would say this is a must-have for any fan of just 80s pop culture. And thank you to Warner Brothers for sending me this review copy. I appreciate it, and I enjoyed it immensely. All right, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open it, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. I know we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.